use the ogre. You know, sure, why not? I haven't used an ogre for a while. Why not? Maybe I'll just specifically only use vanilla gear. Which reminds me that there was this asshole in in the comments of my last Borderlands stream. I can't remember what he said exactly. It was something along the lines of dying to Crawmerax with modded gear, you suck, or something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but something like that. And I could not help but fucking laugh my ass off. Because clearly the guy didn't really understand that I wasn't using stock weapons. You know, that I was using weapons that were really close in effectiveness against Crawmerax to just like, you know, vanilla gear. And I know I did use, you know, I mentioned this in my comment because I replied to him, you know. Normally I would kind of just like ignore that shit, but I was not, I was like really, I was in a really heated mood that day. You know, I was not taking any shit. But, you know, when I replied to the guy, I kind of, I mentioned that, you know, in that stream, I fought Crawmerax with, fuck, what's it called? The Fusilation. Like on one of the runs. You know, one of the runs I killed Crawmerax with Fusilation. Now the Fusilation is actually, it is a modded gun, technically. That is, just happens to be really good against Crawmerax. Oh, fucking hell. But I only used it one time. And, you know, I mentioned, like, even in the stream, I was like, you know, I'm not going to use this anymore after this because it's kind of broken against Crawmerax. And I didn't even die to Crawmerax when I used it either. So pretty much throughout the rest of the whole stream, I was essentially using vanilla gear, or as, you know, close to vanilla gear as you can get, like you know, in terms of effectiveness. So I just thought that was so fucking hilarious, man, when I saw that comment. I mean, it clearly was some fucking troll, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to roast his ass, you know? Because clearly he just did not know what the fuck he was talking about. Anyway. The bone shredder? No, I'm good. I've already farmed for that before. It's not worth farming for either, to be honest. It's like a one and done thing. Are you talking? Oh, I thought you were talking about the. Are you just talking about like the regular bone shredder or the hybrid? What are you talking about? I could race Jolt Suit for the Nemesis Invader. I think I'll pass. I think I'll pass on that. I mean, if I happen to get one, cool, but that's, yeah. I want one, but the dude's fucking insane for trying to go for that. I'm just saying it right now. I know he streams like a lot more and he puts a lot more time into this game, so maybe he'll actually find one. But still, that's fucking like insane to go for. I don't even know if he'll ever see one, but you never know. You really never know with this game. But that really is kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Like that's worse than trying to farm for the Dove Hornet through Slither, you know, doing it that way. Definitely way worse than that, actually. Because at least with Slither, you know, you have like, even though he doesn't something in my eye. Even though he doesn't 100% drop the Dove every time, you know, he will drop one eventually, you know, and that's kind of one of his only drops, you know. Whereas getting a Dove Hornet is so like, I mean, it's already hard enough to find a Nemesis Invader. It's already hard enough as is. Or a Nemesis by itself, sorry. Getting confused. The Nemesis by itself is already hard enough to find, you know, just by itself. But then you have to, like, it has to spawn with that accessory or whatever, you know, which is just, oh my god. And then you have to, you know, also consider the fact that, you know, that you might not even get a Nemesis. You might get, like, another Pearl, you know, because there's a whole lot of other Pearls that are in the drop pool, you know. Shit, hold on, I don't even think I have the right loadout for this. So there's just a lot of, like, you know, a lot of things going on with that. Let's see. Let's see, where's the Skull Masher? There it is. Oh my, what the fuck? What? I can't move. This thing's on top of me. I've never seen that before in my life. I literally, like, I'm stuck because there's a Crawmerax on top of me. Wow. Alright. Never seen that before, I don't think. Jesus Christ. Landed on my head. Completely immobilized me, man. I love how I just fucking walked off the edge because I was looking at the chat. Oh god, man. Starting to think maybe it wasn't the wisest idea to stream today. Fuck. Let's see. Yeah, perfect part combination one is like, I can't even fathom just, you know, the chances. I wonder what the actual chances of that are. You're probably better off finding a Bloodless than you are finding that, to be honest. For sure, actually. For sure. Perfect part combination. Nemesis Invader has got to be like the rarest thing in this game. I mean, you know, if you don't, you know, if you just want a Nemesis Invader regardless of the part combination, like, that's already, I think, the rarest thing in this game. So finding one with, like, perfect parts is just taking it to an extreme, man. I don't even have a grenade equipped, do I? Let's see. Just do neutrino again. I really like doing this shit. Because it's fucking fun. It's not the most practical, but it's fun. Oh, hell. He's got 4 different Nemesises so far? Oh shit, dude. Well, maybe he will find one. Again, I'm not... I wouldn't be surprised if that guy's just been streaming this game, like, non-stop, like, every day, though, for that shit, you know? Like, if you really put your mind to it, like, if you have the time and the energy to do it, I'm sure you can fucking find one, you know? But I just, like, that... Yeah, I could barely muster the strength to find a tsunami. That's still what I've been trying to find for a while. But then again, I'm not Jolts. I don't have that, you know, I don't have the time to stream as much as he does. Nor the energy to do that either. I mean, I might want to do like a streaming schedule and shit, but it ain't gonna be like every day or whatever he does for like 8 hours or something. I actually don't even know what his. I haven't actually even been to one of his streams, but I'm pretty sure he streams like a lot. So it is kind of a full-time thing, I think, for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know. That, and I also have him like as a friend on Steam, and I'm always seeing him like playing Borderlands like all the fucking time. Like, and I see him on Discord as well, streaming. So even though I'm not necessarily watching, like I just feel like a lot of the time when I like see him on Discord or on Steam, like he's playing Borderlands for the most part. I don't know how the guy does it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I love this game, and I love these games, but I'm so fucking surprised he's not burned out at this point. With how much he fucking plays these games, man. I checked how many hours he has on Borderlands 2 alone. I think it's like 5,000 plus hours. Something like that. Ridiculous amount. Just like, fucking A, dude. I thought I had a lot of hours on that game. Ugh. And he's like done everything imaginable in those games, I feel like. You know. Especially in Borderlands 2. Just, he's like, you know, anything you can think of, Jolts has probably done it. Several times. Which, you know, I'm not making fun of him. Like, I think that's actually kind of fucking cool. Like, how, you know, how much he's willing to, you know, how far he's willing to go with, like, just this, like, one game alone. The lengths he's willing to go. Like, he's got a lot of determination. And patience. Yep. There we go. Oh. Nice, nice. Fucking hell. Ah, for fuck's sakes. That was really hilarious when one of these guys just landed on my head. I'm pretty sure I've never seen that in all my time playing this game and fighting Crawmerax. And I just liked how I was just completely like stuck in place. Chance of that happening gotta be pretty slim. There we go. Come on. Come on, buddy. Shit, we don't want him to die right there, though. That wouldn't be good. The Reaper. Yeah, the Reaper is definitely rarer than a Pearlescent, I would say. Even like the shittiest of Reapers, just a Reaper in general, like is rarer than a Pearl. I found way more Pearls in this game than I have Reapers. I think I've only seen like 2 Reapers. Maybe 3. One of them, though, was in a custom DLC, so I don't know how much I want to count that. It was in a vending machine. In, was it the Abandoned Badlands, I think? So I don't know if I really want to count that one. Okay. I gotta remember to look at the class mods too. I would also really like to find that Iridian class mod, which is also apparently really rare. Ooh. Did I notice that before? Maybe I just skimmed over it, but nice. Gasher. Explosive one. I don't care how much flack the Gasher gets, I will always like the Gasher. I think it's fun. And pretty unique, you know. It being a burst fire submachine gun. Definitely one of the, you know, one of a kind in this game, for sure. Because I feel like there's a lot of legendaries in this game that just don't stand out enough, you know? And that is one that definitely stands out to me, the Gasher. That would be like one of the problems I have with this game, and some of the legendaries anyways, is that they're just not distinct enough, some of them. Like all the TDR legendaries are just fucking basically the same, just different weapon types, you know? They all have that ammo regeneration going on, and then that's it, you know? They're just so boring. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the ammo regen, but it's... they're all like that. Even the fucking Avenger, I think, which is a Pearlescent TDR, is like that. So that one also is pretty eh. Now, as much as I hate some of the gimmicks in Borderlands 2, or like the weapon gimmicks, I do feel like there was quite a few of the weapons that, like legendaries and stuff, that stand out in that one. Oh, hell. And same goes with the unique weapons as well. I think the unique weapons are one of the things that Borderlands 2 actually does really well. Yeah. There we go. The Draco. I like the Draco. It's pretty fun. Wish it wasn't glitched though. I also wish they would have patched that shit. I'm just honestly shocked that they didn't patch those with this game. I really am shocked. Maybe it's for the best though, because maybe, you know, they would have patched the armory. So maybe it's for the best that, you know, they didn't, but at the same time, like, yeah, it is a little bit annoying. And same goes with the other, like, legendaries that are kind of fucked up, like the Penetrator, and, you know, how some of the legendaries have the wrong names. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Or how some of them, like the Reaper, just have like a broken special effect. It doesn't even fucking work. Or at least, I mean, maybe it does work, I don't know. I don't think it does, though. I think the Reaper's broken. Which is also fucking annoying, because with how rare that thing is, I really wish it worked properly. Like, of course it had to be the Reaper of all things, you know? Fuck. And that actually has a cool effect on it. I think, was it like, siphoning health? Like, you know, if you attack the enemies with the blade that it has, you like get health from them. I think that was the special effect. Oh, speaking of the ogre, look at that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I really need to fix the text size. It's so fucking small, man. I think I know how to fix it. I accidentally made it that small. But it's fine. I can still read it. It's not the biggest deal to me. How good is this ogre, by the way? It looks pretty decent. Never played the pre-sequel. Are there any missable items like the meat grinder? I think... I mean, I think all the games kind of have that sort of shit. I'm trying to think, though, the meat grinder, is that like a... Oh, Skullmasher. Shit, though. Is the meat grinder... Was that like a once per playthrough type thing? I can't remember. Or was it just like a unique weapon that wasn't really necessarily given to you that you kind of had to farm for? I'm trying to think. I know what you're talking about with the meat grinder, but I can't remember exactly. You know, how you actually get the meat grinder? It's just been a while. Like I haven't acquired a meat grinder in forever. I swear to God, though, you get that from the quest, though, right? Or is that something else? Like, don't you get it from a quest as well? Once per playthrough, James Cobb drops it. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Problem is, it doesn't respond. Okay. But you don't get it through a mission? Like, at all? I swear you do. Or is it something else? Fuck. Was it like... What was that rocket launcher? Was it like the roaster or some shit? Was that the one I'm thinking of? That it can also be a hybrid with, was it the Rhino? Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with that. That's from Taylor Cobb. Okay. And that one respawns, right? Like, that one actually is something you can farm for, I think. I'm not sure if there's stuff like that in pre-sequel. There might be. Like, if we're talking, like, unique weapons, anyway. Oh, fuck. I don't know. You know, it's just been too long. I really can't tell you. There's obviously plenty of legendaries you can kind of miss, but then again, I think you can get those from... Actually, there might be some legendaries that you really can't farm for. Or at least, like, you can farm for it, but then again, like, if you miss the opportunity, you miss the opportunity. Fucking that one bitch. On, Helios. What's her name? That general. You fight her, and then there's that, like, that kind of mini loot armory afterwards. You guys know what I'm talking about? Man, my memory is just terrible. It's been so long since I've played pre-sequel too. I don't remember her name exactly, but she's like one of the main villains. Oh, fuck me. Sorry if I'm spoiling stuff, by the way. I'll shut up from now from now on. I mean, it should be obvious though, like just from the moment you even start the game, like she's gonna be one of the, you know, villains. You're gonna have to fight her eventually. But anyway, like I think from what I remember, she doesn't respawn, or that you can't really go back and fight her again. So if you're gonna want to get stuff from her, you have to do it by like alt F4ing and not saving. Sort of shit, you know, like you can't save and quit or anything after you kill her. At least I think. Maybe you can, I don't know, but if you complete that mission, like, you're basically fucked from getting her legendary drops, I think. I'm not sure there's any other ways of getting them, maybe from the grinder, but that is one thing. There might be other legendaries like that as well. I know at the beginning of the game, during the prologue, you can miss a legendary. So I guess there's a bunch of legendaries and stuff. I'm not sure about uniques though. But legendaries, yes, there are legendaries you can definitely miss. You can't really farm for again if you complete like the said mission, you know, or whatever. Corn on a cob. Borderlands 2, you could reset all missions. Yeah. Same with pre-sequel though. You also have that, by the way. You could do that in pre-sequel. Though it is really annoying to do though. Like, it's I wouldn't really advise it unless you're trying to grind for levels. Or you just want to start over for fun, but just to go get a specific gun, I don't know if I'd advise doing that. But that's up to you. I mean, I wouldn't do it for me. But unless you just you actually do want to start over the game again. Because I guess that is the problem with doing that, is you have to start all over again. I would highly recommend, though, to anybody playing pre-sequel, to once you get to UVHM, start doing that one level up technique that I've showed off in a video before. I actually have 2 videos on how to level up quickly in pre-sequel, but it's my more recent one. Basically the one where you restart UVHM over and over again and do like the first prologue mission over and over again by reviving Jack. And then just keep, you keep resetting after you do that, because the XP that you get is so substantial that you'll level up really quickly. And I would highly recommend doing that before you even go through UVHM at all, because it's I've ran into that problem where you get to the end of UVHM and you grind, and the grind is so slow, and then I had to restart and do that whole trick, because I was so tired of, the grind. And you still have to grind, but it's so much more tolerable doing it that way. I mean, it's not really the most, enjoyable grind, but it's so much quicker than some of the other ones. Unless you're willing to do, like, that one. The one where that Guardian keeps respawning, like, instantaneously. I was never really a big fan of that one, though, because I felt like that was too cheap. So I actually wanted to spend some time leveling up to have that satisfaction, I guess. But I didn't want it to feel really cheap, I guess, while I was doing it. Even though the methods that I used were kind of, I guess, would be considered exploits. I know at the time, like with the first method that I used, where I farmed the threshers in that one cave, like I would say, like, oh, this is not an exploit, but it technically kind of was an exploit. But it was just you kind of had to put a lot, you still had to put some effort into it, Whereas with that Guardian method, you didn't really. All you had to do is, I think you could literally just set your controller down, put like a rubber band around the trigger or whatever, and just leave your game on. From what I remember anyway. I never actually did it, but I remember watching videos on it and shit. Anyway. Yeah, the game is stingy on XP. It's such a long grind. Borderlands 2 is also a pain in the ass, so I'm sure there's better methods nowadays for that game. I think Jolts even has like a new video on leveling up quickly. I've never seen it, but I would imagine it's better than what I had to do, which was grinding it out in Torg's little bar with the Norfleet Logan's gun combo, the sham shield, just spamming missiles and rapid fire completing that mission over and over and over and over again. Like, that would be my method. I'm sure that method was even out of date like long after I was still using it, but still, that was how I would do it. Still, just I wouldn't recommend it though, especially if there's new methods. I'm sure there's way better methods these days. But for pre-sequel, I would highly recommend doing that one that I mentioned where you reset UVHM. I would totally do it. Because that way you can also just go through UVHM and be max level, which I think is a way more enjoyable experience if you're already max level going through it, personally. That way the gear that you get on your journey actually is stuff you get to keep, you know what I mean? You don't have to worry about getting rid of shit anymore at that point, You can just go through the game and you don't have to ditch shit, What am I, oh, that's health. Dumbass. I don't know, that's just me though. Especially at that point, you are on your 3rd playthrough of the game, so you're just kind of like ready to just get to the end game, Typically when I reach that point, I'm just ready to fucking speed my way to the end game, That and all the unique weapons, that's another thing too. All the unique weapons that you find will also just be, you know, your level as well. So you don't have to worry about like missing shit. Everything you find will be relevant. Even after you finish the game, and you know, because you're at max level at that point, you know. Oh, fucking hell. Fuck me. I appreciate you guys liking the stream. Fuck. Not gonna lie though, I still feel a little sad I wasn't able to do Monster Hunter. Hopefully next time I'll be able to get that going. I'm gonna do some test streams over the weekend though, I think. Just try to figure out what the hell's going on with that. I've never actually done a test stream to YouTube though. Though I think I might know how I can maybe do that. Because technically on YouTube I can kind of go live. I think I might even be able to just set the stream to private. I wonder if that's a thing. Might be able to do that. Kind of like how you can set videos to private. Or unlisted or whatever. Oh shit, what am I doing? That was... yeah, I fucked it up. I was too busy focusing on Crawmerax when I should have been shooting the minions. That was my fault. Yeah, 2 playthroughs were definitely enough, in my opinion. Like, they did not need any more. UVHM is always just a slog to go through, in my opinion anyway. I think every time I go through UVHM, I don't even really do the side quests either. Especially if I'm not at max level, I try to avoid them as much as possible because I want to save the loot, you know? Like if there's any like unique weapons and stuff that are... you can only obtain once, I like to save that for when I'm max level, you know, so that way the weapons that I get or the items are max level, you know? I don't want to have to worry about that. Even though I know I play on PC, I could just use Gibbed at this point, but still, it's just kind of something I like to do anyway. Just because I don't, you know, I don't know, I just want to get to the end game as soon as possible. When I start UVHM. Just something I do by default, you know. I miss when the game just had 2 playthroughs, like Borderlands 1, you know, or I think Borderlands 3 doesn't have UVHM, does it? Or does it? Does Borderlands 3 have a 3rd playthrough now? I hope it fucking doesn't, man. Please tell me it doesn't have a 3rd playthrough. That is gonna definitely kill some of my interest to go back to that game for sure. If it has another playthrough that I have to go through. Oh, fuck you. Come on, man. There we go. Got a little bit lucky there with the green worm. Those guys are really not too bad to take out. God damn it, man. Doing an awful job at hitting his spots right now. There we go. There we go. I really enjoyed playing the game twice, and I found out there was another. Yeah, it's just like really fucking unnecessary. UVHM also just completely fucked balance even more. What is going on with this minion, by the way? Oh. Looked like he was stuck for a second. Like, the balance was already fucked in Borderlands 2, but, like, it was so much more tolerable, you know, on True Vault Hunter mode. UVHM just completely threw things. Just completely fucked scaling. Even more in the ass. Especially since you have to rely a lot more on slag in UVHM. Stupid. What were they thinking with that? And if you didn't, you know, have like a decent build going, you're really just fucked at that point, you know, in UVHM. Like, you really struggle. Because the enemies are so much more spongy. That slag, unfortunately, is, you know, is essentially mandatory. I mean, at least to an extent. I mean, once you get, like, I guess a good build going, and good enough weapons going, you don't really need slag, but throughout your journey of UVHM, you're probably going to need to use slag. At some point or another. And if you don't, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot. It really just depends, I guess, on your build too, but yeah. So many wildcats and equalizers and stuff. Damn it. So many wildcats, it seems like. Maybe there's only been 2, but it seems like there's been more than that. The only thing that's really been that interesting is that ogre. I don't even know if that ogre was that great. It looked pretty decent. First glance, but hate farming vendors and loot goons for 69 items. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. But that's like, those are the 2 only methods of actually getting level 69 gear. That is so stupid. Oh, there's the crash. Am I still rocking the Procyon, by the way? Am I? Oh. I think I am. But yeah, that's really dumb how those are the only 2 methods of getting level 69 gear legitimately. I just love how loot goons of all things too, like, are one of the you know, one of only 2 methods of getting them. Which I guess makes sense, but it's weird. You'd think like Crawmerax would drop level 69 gear or something, but or that you would find level 69 gear just frequently throughout the game, but for some reason it caps out at 68 for the most part. Outside of those 2 methods, anyway. Really baffling. That's a really good deal for Borderlands 3, though. Like, I would definitely recommend it for that price, for sure. I mean, Borderlands 3 is very content-heavy. It has a lot going on. Especially with the DLC. There is so much going on in that game. And I haven't even done everything. Like, there's so much shit. I still have yet to check out the second season pass. But just the base game by itself does have a lot of content. That is something Borderlands 3 does have going for it. There's a lot of content there. Took me so long to just get through the main game of that game and doing all the side quests. Like, if you do all the side quests, it's gonna take a while. There's a lot. Let's see, let's just whip out the Godspeed. Can't be asked to drive all the way there. What am I doing? What is the shield? Yep, Procyon, okay. Also, I forgot to whip out a vial last time. I don't really need a vial. I guess I can use it. It's just really unnecessary, though, I guess, for Crawmerax, but whatever. Why not? Godspeed, there it is. Probably will change the title after the stream to just Borderlands Crawmerax farming or something, because it's essentially, for the most part, what I'm doing in the stream. I didn't even really get to play Monster Hunter. It was just me trying to play it, but to no avail. Farming a specific variant in Borderlands franchise is really hard. Borderlands 1 is the hardest. Like, you mean just like a specific part combination on a specific weapon? Sort of thing? Is that what you mean by that? Yeah, Borderlands 3, you just haven't bought the DLCs. Well, you should. Especially if they're only $10. I'd highly recommend the DLCs. The DLCs are, in my opinion, at least just from the first season pass, are more enjoyable than the base game. Like, they're actually pretty fucking decent. Especially the first 2 DLCs. Like, the Handsome Jackpot is, I think, my favorite DLC. I know that's not really the most popular opinion, but I really enjoyed that one. A lot of people do really like the second DLC as well. That one's probably considered the best one by more people, by a majority. a lot of people really like the third one, but I just didn't click with the third one, especially the Krieg one, which was the only one that really disappointed me a lot, actually. I still enjoyed it. It was still fun, but it is by far the most disappointing DLC, probably in the entire series. It's really a shame, because I was so excited for that one, man. So excited for Krieg to make a comeback, and for it to basically be all about Krieg. And outside of a couple moments, I really just it didn't do it for me, you know. You could tell that one was kind of like rushed or something. I don't know. It just by far was like the worst, though, quality wise. I remember the areas being way too linear. You know, the side quests essentially just being these really short, like extremely short quests that were like walk 10 feet and press this button and then you're done, you know, like sort of thing. Like, think of the what's that mission, the shoot me in the face mission in Borderlands 2, but like that was a lot of the missions in that DLC. Like that, essentially, just to paint a better picture of what I'm trying to talk about, or like the kind of missions I'm talking about, you know, just super like that take you less than a minute missions, probably. Not even 5 minutes. Not all of them were like that, but I think a lot of them were like that, and they were really just, they were not that enjoyable. Like, when you started to kind of predict that that's what the mission's gonna be, which eventually I caught on to that, I was like, okay, let me guess, the next one's gonna be, like, I gotta go over here and press this button, talk to this person or whatever, and then turn in the mission, sort of thing. Like, it just became so predictable, and obviously if your missions are going to be like that, that means they're shit. Like, if all of them are going to be like that. Like, it makes sense if one's like that, you know? Maybe you can get away with two being like that, but if you're going to have, like, almost all of your missions be like that, something's fucking wrong, you know? And unfortunately, Krieg just wasn't funny enough and interesting enough in the DLC to even... Because, like, a lot of them were centered around Krieg. Krieg was, like, in basically everything, you know? And it wasn't... I don't know, I didn't really care for Krieg in the DLC, which kind of sucks, because the DLC was all about Krieg. So... It's like a really shitty Claptastic Voyage DLC. Like, that's kind of what it reminds me of, you know? Similar premise in a sense, because I think from what I remember, you go into Krieg's mind, right? Isn't that the kind of the plot? I don't remember exactly why you go into his mind, but I think I'm pretty sure you enter his mind somehow. Not unlike the Claptastic Voyage DLC, where you enter Claptrap's mind. You know, it's just that, but again, a lot, like, it's just way worse. And again, it's so tragic because, fuck me. It's so tragic because it had so much potential. Like, that was the one I was excited about the most. And it was so disappointing. There was some things I did like about it, though, but the third one was also pretty good. Definitely better than the Krieg one, for sure. I just don't remember it having, you know, the same hook as the first two. But I still do remember enjoying it. I think I'd need to play through it again off stream to maybe appreciate it more. But I know that if I played through the Krieg one again, I still would feel the same way about it. Like, that one for sure was like a given, you know? Like, I don't have to play through that again to know if that one was not that great or not, because it definitely wasn't. I wouldn't say it's bad. It was still enjoyable, but it was like... It was so lackluster for a DLC, especially compared to the other ones. Because the other ones were like so much more, especially the second DLC, just so much content. The areas were so giant, like it was crazy, like the amount of shit that they put into it. You can tell there was a lot of care and quality put into it. But it seemed like the last two, particularly the Krieg one, just didn't have as much care put into them. Something happened, I don't know. But anyway, the Handsome Jackpot, I think, is my favorite. Not only because of Handsome Jack, but because of just everything else about it. You know, like the actual plot and like where it takes place, and you know, the atmosphere just really sells that one for me, man. I just had so much fun playing to that one. One thing Borderlands 3 does really well, though, even in the base game, was just the atmosphere, man. The atmosphere and the environmental design. So fucking good. By far the best in the series, I think. Like, it really has some good environmental design. And great music to top it off, too, I think. The music was... Especially in the DLC. Super stellar, man. But I was always just like... I always had to admire the environments, you know, and like I always felt super immersed in the world, too. Even when the story was fucking at a low point and really just ruining it for me, the world just kind of kept me in, you know? And the gameplay, just it kept me in, engaged. I was always interested to see what, like, you know, new area that I would, like, what the next area was going to be like, you know, in that game. I was always looking forward to that. Who did you play in Borderlands 3? For my main character, for my main Vault Hunter? Zane. Zane was my main. I never really got to play any of the other characters, except for Flak a little bit when me and my girlfriend started to play through, but we didn't really get that far, so I can't really say much about that, but I did enjoy Flak when I played. I'm sure I would enjoy the other Vault Hunters as well. It's just Zane was really fun. I liked Zane. I'm glad I picked Zane from the get-go. I really enjoyed his skills. Double Anarchy. Meh. And I love Zane's personality too. You know, even though he had annoying writing too at times, for sure. I don't know. He kind of was a cool character, like in terms of just like his character, you know. The writing didn't really do him justice though. Yeah, I would like to see Zane come back in a future entry. If they do that. But at the same time, you know, as far as like me wanting a future entry of Borderlands, I have no idea if I even want that, man. You know, at least with this way the series is you know, the direction it's gone into. If they keep going in that direction, I do not want another Borderlands game. Although if they, you know, however, if they do shift directions, you know, and bring us a Borderlands game that actually you know, is good, then I will be interested. And I don't want to make it sound like I, you know, think Borderlands 3 was all bad, because obviously, like, I mean, hell, I was literally just making, you know, points on like why I thought it was like just aspects I actually liked about it, you know. But it's definitely not a good game for me. Like, it's not a bad game either, but it's very mixed, you know. And I'm hoping the next game, if they make another game, will be better. I've heard Wonderlands is kind of in a similar boat to 3. I know I haven't played Wonderlands, but I've seen enough and heard enough that it sounds like, you know, it hasn't strayed too far from the things that went wrong in 3. In fact, it might actually be worse in some things. From what I've heard, anyway. And then don't even get me started with Tales from the Borderlands. Like, that shit is... I don't even want to talk about it. It's just an abomination of a video game. It's just a tragedy. Shouldn't even exist. Period. And that alone honestly leaves me with little hope for the rest of the franchise. Just that game alone. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I would like to see? You know what I would like to see? Is a Battleborn 2. I want to see a Battleborn 2. Or at least them reviving Battleborn, which I don't think they're ever going to do that, but I'm hoping for a new Battleborn game. That is what I would really like to see, way more than a new Borderlands game. Even if there's a chance that this new Battleborn game will suffer the same or similar problems that the new Borderlands games have. But, I don't know. I'd still be excited for it, man. I still would be excited for it. I've always really enjoyed Battleborn. Ooh, look. Nice. And I know that's by far a unpopular opinion. But Battleborn I always thought was a game that was hated on for absolutely no reason. Oh look, Tish. It got a lot of unnecessary flack Which, to be fair, the game did, you know, they really made the game sound like it was going to be this competitor to Overwatch. You know, I think that's where a lot of the hate came from. Even Randy Pitchford himself was like saying that the game's going to destroy Overwatch or something like that. You know, it's like, you know, in some sort of competition with Overwatch, right? That was a really bad mistake on their part, because the game is really not like Overwatch. The only thing that's that it has in common with Overwatch is the classes, or like, you know, how it's kind of a class-based game, but that's it. The gameplay itself is so much more. It's so different, you know. Even the multiplayer is not even close to being like Overwatch. The only thing it has in common is that they're both class-based first-person games. But other than that, they were really different, actually. A lot of differences. It's just such a shame, too, though, that Battleborn had to be an online-only game. Because you can't play it anymore. It's like they shut the servers offline, and everyone just like, the game is essentially like it's non-existent. Like, nobody can play it. Which is the most stupid thing. I hated that. That was definitely something I always hated about Battleborn. It was that it's like all online. It made absolutely no sense considering the game had a campaign mode, you know? And yeah, it was so stupid. There was absolutely no point to having an online only. Like, I don't know what the point was for that. It wasn't really that much of a live service game either. Like, it had updates and DLC, but I feel like it did not warrant it being online only, like, at all. Like, there was absolutely nothing to warrant it being online only. And it's just so sad, because, like, you can't even play the game anymore, you know? Because of that. Because the game was online only, you know? It essentially locked everything behind that server, and since the server's offline, it's inaccessible. Even the campaign mode, even the single player content is inaccessible. What's Battleborn about? Well, just like I was saying, it's essentially like a class-based shooter, you know, first-person shooter. In aspect, it's actually kind of quite similar to Borderlands in like terms of like humor and characters and the art style, and it's just more focused on like the kind of class-based aspect, and also, you know, yeah, it's quite different still from Borderlands, but it also does have like a lot of similarities. There's loot that you can get, but the multiplayer was something that kind of made it stand out, because it was essentially a first-person MOBA game, which was really unique. Again, a big reason why I'm saying that there's really it's stupid to compare it to Overwatch, because again, outside of that class-based aspect, there's just everything else is not at all the same. But one thing I loved about Battleborn was the fact that it had so much charm. You know, the characters had so much charm to them. The world, like, I loved the art style. Like, it managed to be like Borderlands, but also kind of be visually distinct from Borderlands, which I thought was kind of cool. I really loved the art style and just the character designs and the personalities of the characters, and the story was pretty fun. I had so much fun, like, grinding out the legendaries and stuff. And, you know, doing a lot of the single player stuff. I didn't really delve too much into the multiplayer, but I did do some, and I had fun. But for me, the main kind of draw was the single player content. I feel like the little DLC kind of missions as well were super fucking fun, man. They were so good. There was just something so charming about that game. I'd really love to see a sequel of sorts that's not online only. That can be played indefinitely, you know what I mean? Because I just, that is something I hate with games. You know, it's like I'm running into that kind of like, that thing, that problem with Hitman right now. Hitman 3. Or the Hitman trilogy. I mean, it really affects all three of the new Hitman games that have come out. But, you know, I've really been into those games. I'm super, like, I love them a lot. But the one thing that's always bothered me is that they're kind of, for the most part, online only. Although there is an offline mode, it doesn't have nearly as much content as the online portion. So I'm hoping that, like, if the servers do get, you know, shut down eventually, that you're going to be able to access a lot of that content offline. Like, I worry about that, you know, because I'm kind of traumatized after the whole Battleborn thing, man. I want to be able to come back to the game and play it. I don't want to, like, I shouldn't have to be worrying about, like, if I'm going to be able to come back and play this game eventually again. Like, if I stop playing it, like, if when I come back, like, is it going to be, am I still going to be able to play it, you know? It's really dumb. A really dumb thing, especially since Hitman is a single player experience. It doesn't even have any multiplayer anymore. Just another thing that's just like, why? Hitman, the Hitman games do have more of a live service thing going on, or at least, like, you know, they have weekly content updates. But still, I hate that, man. I hate the when games are online only. But at least I'll know that, like, I'll be able to play some of the game. You know, I'll be able to access the game and actually do, actually be able to play it, you know, when the servers go offline. So at least there's that. But it's just like I'm gonna lose a lot of the stuff that I really like about the game, you know. Because there's a lot of things that are just like the contracts mode. That's just, I don't know how they're gonna essentially make that work when the servers get shut down, which is something that happened to Hitman Absolution, which was really sad, because that was actually one of the things that made that game, you know, more enjoyable. Because Hitman Absolution was kind of yeah, it wasn't that great. I mean, I don't. Wow, shit, did I fucking forget to leave? Whoops. I don't mind Absolution that much, but it's definitely, it is not a good Hitman game, that's for sure. But the contracts mode, which unfortunately you can't play anymore, was something that kind of turned it into, you know, it made it better, but now you can't do that anymore. You know, so it's like, fuck. I hate that. Like, there's nothing that peeves me more when shit like that happens. You know, when servers get shut down and then you can't access something because of that, because they made it so you can only access it if you're playing online or if the servers are online. You know. Anyway, sorry for the rant. I'm pretty passionate about like Battleborn and shit. You know, that's kind of where all this started. And then I started going on about like the online only stuff, but yeah, it's just, I mean, who doesn't think it's dumb, you know? It really is the worst thing, like, you know, knowing that potentially, like, a lot of the content that you know and love about a game is going to be locked out eventually, and you won't ever be able to play it. Especially, like, again, in the case of Battleborn, the entire experience is locked out. Like, you can't even play Battleborn at all anymore. If you try to play it, it will just say, like, oh, the servers are shut down. Sorry, you know. You can't play this game. It's almost like the game is just like, it takes the whole dead game to a whole new level, because the game is actually 100% dead. Nobody can play it. Which is so sad, man, because, you know, it's one of those games that I would love to go back and play, but you can't. What happens if I stay up here? Can he get me up here? Shit, if I shoot that spot, he's gonna... Can he actually get me up here? Okay, he can still shoot. Okay. Don't know what class setup, what your class setup is, whatever you're trying to get a penetrator against Craw. Yeah, I'm sure that would be good. I mean, I've got kind of a similar... I've got like the sniper setup going. I'm sure the penetrator would work really well. I'll have to try that out, actually. Reload. Come on. And I'm stuck. Oh really? Titanfall 2? Can you even play Titanfall 2 anymore? Because one thing I love about gaming is being able to go back and play, like, you know, games that, like for example, I don't know, fucking Mario 64, you know, being able to go back and play that shit anytime I want to. Even though that game is however old now, you know? Fucking hell. Like, that game is essentially, it's still playable. So there's nothing that, like I said, nothing that really peeves me more than when, you know, you want to go back and play one of your favorite games and you can't play it anymore. It's impossible to play it. And it's not even because, like, the game is just, like, that, like, hard to find or something, or, you know... or anything like that. It's just, it's actually because the game's servers are offline, because some fucking moron decided, like, yeah, let's make this game online only, you know. And eventually, when we take the servers down, you're not going to be able to play it anymore. It's just, it's absolutely baffling to me. I'm sorry that I'm just, like, I keep talking about it, but it's just, it's one of those things that just makes no fucking sense at all. Really? Because I actually wanted to go back and play Titanfall 2. I've never played it, and I've always wanted to, and that was something on my list, but... Fuck. And now a lot of people can't experience the joy of Battleborn. You know, because I'm sure... Well... I know even when Battleborn was live, it was actually finally... You know, getting better recognition. You know, the recognition it... Well, it never really got the recognition it deserved, you know? It you know, unfortunately kind of stayed under the radar for a lot of people. But... You know, it definitely, like, the hate for the game subsided for the most part, I think, you know, over time. And there's a lot more appreciation for the game. But it's just like, now you can't even play it anymore, so it's... Like, if you never played the game, it's like you wouldn't ever even be able to know what it was like unless you watched, like, videos of it or something. But you'd never be able to play it for yourself, which is just sad, because it could potentially be one of your favorite games, but you can't play it, so fuck you. Just sucks, man. I'm glad I got to play it, at least, and enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I played Battleborn a lot, actually. I didn't do everything I wanted to do in the game, but at some point, like, when I found out the servers were going offline, I kind of didn't even want to play it, because I would get attached to it again, and then I would get more sad that it, you know, I wouldn't be able to play it anymore. So part of me is kind of glad I didn't jump back into the game once I heard of the news, because it would have made me way more sad. You know, I would have gotten attached to it, and then, you know, and then they would have just taken it just right from under me, you know. So it's like how I've been, like, I wanted to play this mobile game. You know, I've been into, like, the Metal Slug games lately, and I wanted to try out Metal Slug Attack on my phone. And, like, I go on there, and it's like, well, the servers are shutting down soon, so you better, you know, do everything you want to before then, because you're not going to be able to play the game anymore after that. And I was like, are you kidding me? I literally just get into this game. I'm super excited to try it out. And you're telling me I'm not going to be able to play it. So, like, what's the point in me even trying to play this game? You know, I just completely stopped after that. I didn't even really give it another chance, because, like, what's the fucking point if you're going to just... I'm not going to be able to play it anymore soon. Why even get invested into a game if they're going to take it away from you, you know? It's like a free trial, but, like, the trial, when it ends, it's permanent. You know, I mean, maybe somebody will be able to get the servers online or something. I don't know, but... Because sometimes that is the case for some games. But there's, like, cases like Battleborn where that's not possible. Or at least it hasn't happened. Maybe it is possible, but it just hasn't happened. I don't think it is possible in that case. I'm still praying, though. Sometimes I do look up once in a while. I'm like, you know, I look up if anybody's actually managed to make their own, like, private server or something for the game. You know, just even though, like I said, it's probably not possible. Like, I just can't help but, like, look it up sometimes, because I just miss the game so much. Do private servers, yeah. Like, I know, again, some games can do that, thankfully. But there are some games that just can't. Can you still play the campaign to Titanfall? I hope to God that you can at least play the campaign. I hope to fucking God you can at least play the campaign. What is on my mouse? Sorry. I Hey, what's up, man? Oh, I got it. I don't even dare to pronounce your name. I know I would butcher it. But how are you doing? It's good. It has been a while. I do recognize you. How are you doing? Yeah, it was so like crushing. Like, you know, when I jumped on Metal Slug Attack, and that I saw that because I was like so excited, you know, to try it out. I didn't know if I would like it or not. I honestly really didn't know what, you know. I knew the game was you know, some sort of turn-based take on the Metal Slug games or something. But it looked fun. I wanted to try it out, you know. I wanted to see what was going on with that, and I was so excited to jump into it. I did the tutorial and everything, and like I get to the main page finally, and it's like, well, you know, the message pops up like saying, "Oh yeah, the server's going to be offline, so we're going to give you all this free shit, and then, you know, just to make your most out of this the last dying days of this game." And I was like, "Oh fuck that, you know, I'm not going to fucking bother with this." I was so sad, you know. I mean, there's a chance I probably wouldn't have liked the game, honestly, but still, it's just like it sucks when a game, especially like if you're like looking forward to it and you see that shit, like, man, you know. I know it's just some silly mobile game though, like honestly, like it's some free mobile game, but regardless, I was still kind of looking forward to trying it, and my hopes and dreams were crushed. But I can't imagine like paying for a game and then like being disappointed that you can't play anymore. Like, imagine when they take down the Hitman servers and they don't do anything about the lack of content offline and you just pay for the game. Like, that sucks, dude, because you're really, like, missing out on, like, 80% of the content, I'd say. There are thankfully mods for Hitman, though, that do kind of circumvent that a little bit, which is good. And I'm hoping those mods will kind of stay updated. I'm sure there's going to be more mods, you know, eventually as well, that will, you know, just keep adding stuff to the game's lack of offline content. So I am thankful for that, at least. There is that. Mods to kind of keep things alive as well. The game has mod support anyway. Finally some days off. I was about to go sleep, but YouTube notification. Nice. It's good to see you, man. It really has been a while. Hope you've been well. Just realized I've been going for 2 hours now. I might actually end it here soon. Potentially after this run. We'll see though. I might keep going. Did I see what you said about Titanfall? You can play the campaign, and co-op is still available. Nice, dude. Good, good. I'm glad that that's at least a thing. That's all. Honestly, that was the thing I really only cared about with Titanfall 2. Was the campaign. I wanted to at least play that. I'm glad that that's not locked behind. I wouldn't have been surprised if it would have been locked behind a, you know, online only type deal like Battleborn, but I'm glad it's not. Ah, fucking files mixed up again. Ugh. Hate that. Makes my life a lot harder. Sifting through the loot. Shit, like it. I think did it mix in like two other? Which pile's which here? Fuck, man. Like, look at this. It's just like one big pile, essentially. Ugh, I don't even know where. Which one is which at this point? I think it's in the middle here, right? Ooh. Look at this. One of Sleep's Iridian guns. Nice. I may as well pick that up, sure. I don't think I have any of his Iridian guns on this character. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I see much. God damn it. I hate it when Crawmerax doesn't drop anything that crazy. Oh well, you know, it happens. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna leave off here. I have to, you know, I have to go pee really bad, and you know, I figured I may as well just leave the stream off here anyway, because I would probably just come back and then do that. So I'll just do it now. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know there's a lot of ranting and venting going on, which is kind of normal these days on my stream. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed regardless. It is sad that I wasn't able to play Monster Hunter, but I did have fun, you know, playing Borderlands. At least I had something to fall on, you know, like as a backup in case that didn't work, which it didn't, so here we are. But yeah, regardless, I had a lot of fun, and hopefully by the next stream I'll be able to have that issue fixed, and I'll be able to start streaming some more of these other games I want to stream, and not just be stuck with like Borderlands and Spelunky and shit, you know, because I really want to. Yeah, I shouldn't have that issue. I shouldn't be able to be locked into these games, you know, especially since I want to start streaming some new games like Wonderlands and shit, you know, which again, like, that's, yeah, like, if knowing the situation, like, that game's probably gonna have the same problem with the you know, the stuttering or whatever that's been going on with my streams with certain games. But yeah, hopefully next time I'll be able to, you know, I'll do some test streams over the weekend, and you know, I'll try to get that shit figured out. But yeah, anyway, you guys have a good rest of your day / weekend. It is Friday. And I will hopefully see y'all in on the next one, probably next week. I think we'll just we'll see what happens. I've also got a bit of a surprise for you guys who've been looking forward to seeing some actual videos on my channel. I might have a video cooked up here pretty soon, so look forward to that too. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Y'all take care. Peace out, guys.